So you start.
Yeah, you can.
It's January, a new year, and on that note, we're going to talk about New Year's resolution, as well as this was this year's first Sziget run, January. Quite a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. So this month we did a bit of a push throughout December over Christmas and New Year to try and get people thinking about their New Year's resolutions, because it's getting to that point of year, particularly thinking towards the spring events like Vivicita, half marathon. This is probably the time to get started. And one of the reasons why we created Sziget Run is particularly for people to set goals towards and getting faster at 5K. And the 5K kind of fits in with the whole Vivicita, that when you're training you can also test yourself out over 5K. So today we saw how many people? Reading the tickets, we have 58, so we had about 57 runners join us this morning. So it's quite good for a January. I don't think we've had that many people for a January event. So
maybe it's because now it starts an hour later at 9.
Well, I think that could be like another big reason. We saw more people appear. We had a runner last month suggesting, well, maybe if we do 9 o'clock, more people will show up, and we agreed with him. It's particularly in winter, it's quite challenging getting out of bed in the morning, so we thought this month we'll try and see how we go, and I think it was a bit of a success.
For me, it was even for me challenging to get out from bed, even though I know I won't be running because I volunteered. But it's a cold, foggy morning. It was today, and if someone sets goals and wants to do the marathon or Vivicita or whatever, they need to get into the habit, waking up and do the training, because weeks pass by and they just realize, I haven't started and it's too late now, so this is the time, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty much like I had a similar conversation today with one of the runners, and talking about how he went with his run and if he's been running, and he said that he hadn't. And I know for me personally, I feel like a bit of a fake sometimes, because I might post some running videos, but I know through December they were pretty much my only runs that I ever did. And personally myself, is something I want to do this year, is get out and run more. And this is personally myself, I'm trying to log each one of my runs, and perhaps hear some of your stories as well. If you're also doing a diary or a blog, we want to hear from you, and perhaps you can add your stories to our More Fit Run stories as well.
Exactly, and back to training goals. I have a really good story from this morning for everyone that wants to better themselves at running. To the 5th place, today's runner was a 12-year-old guy. Mm-hmm. And anyone who comes after needs to know that a 12 years old was ahead of them. So if you wanna beat at 12 years old, then you really need to get your shit together and come down to Sziget runs. Mm-hmm. And between the monthly runs, you need to do your training sessions to keep it fit. And more people came to me and said, this is my first one, how long have you been doing this? And I said, it's over 2 years, and I don't know how it I never came across, and I never knew about that. And they said it's really nice and they will come down. And more people comes down, and I think for the main reason for that is more and more content is going out to the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny you say that, because when we first started, we actually had really big numbers, and I'm not sure if something's happened with the Facebook algorithm with events or anything like that, but recently we've had a bit of a dip off with numbers, and today was a bit of an increase. I don't know why, but one thing I think would help us a lot is, particularly with you the runners, if you would go to our event page, click going, say you're coming, become committed to the site, and done with just bump the camera. Become committed by saying you're coming, and share our event, because we're just volunteers. We're not putting any money into of having our event sponsored on Facebook. We put a lot of effort into these events, but it's almost too much to put more money into Sziget Run at this point in time. So if you really like what we do, we'd ask you to really share, particularly our event page, and invite other runners to come join us each month.
Mainly because even if you don't come down, because whether you're lazy or whether you don't have time to come this next month or so, just click on going or share the event, because it costs nothing for you either, and you give the chance to other people to discover this kind of running community. And for this, like a similar thing when you buy a gym ticket, just to feel better about yourself. At least you have the ticket, even you don't go to the gym. Just click on interested, and then let the world know that you're coming or you would come. Maybe it helps you to get a bit more motivated. How is the website? Is it like all done, or?
The website's getting very close to being done. I have been talking to the developer online a bit, doing some screen shares, and most of our features with the new website are complete. We're still working on the feed page, so you'll see what you and your friends are doing. Some of the things which I've seen that are complete at the moment is, I'm just thinking back to the 12-year-old boy. We have special filters and special awards and achievements within our results, and one of them is our age groups. So we're going to be recognising everybody within age groups. So if you're from 6 years old to 15-year-olds, if you're the fastest runner in that age category, you'll get a little trophy icon. 15 to 25, same thing, all the way up to 75 and over. If you're fast within your age group, we want to recognise you, because we realise that you might not be the fastest runner on the day, but chances are you could be putting in a lot of effort, and you're actually quite fast for your age group. So we really want to recognise people's achievements, particularly with context to like ages and on the day and personal bests. I'm thinking, what else are we doing? One thing that we're still doing with the website is particularly our volunteer page. We have a feature where, just like you can add yourself as a runner, you'll be able to add yourself as a volunteer. And our apps is combined with our website, that when you volunteer with us, you'll be able to have permission to do our timing or do our positions, so that we'll be working a bit more seamlessly with the least amount of work possible. So it's easy for the volunteers, and it's easy for us to attract people to help us out to keep putting on these free events, which it seems like you guys enjoy.
Yeah, before today's run, we shared this information with the runners that anyone who feels like would like to come to volunteer, that they can. And so a few people came to us and asked how it goes, and they would like to contribute. So anyone who's watching that, I suggest you to come down, or just imagine that way, that it's like 12 occasions in a year. So what if on 11 you run and on 1 you help? If everyone would do that, we would never have a problem with volunteering or volunteers, or have enough workforce and help. And it's also fun. I did it for, 20 times now maybe, and I made new friends. I tried myself in a new thing, like using an application, interacting with people, so it can develop some skills. So I strongly recommend that try yourself as a volunteer.
Mm-hmm. And already we've had some people come up to us after the run and suggest that they were interested. So if you're interested, keep an eye out for the new webpage. We have a tab called Volunteers, and if you want to come help us out, just click your name on the tab, and perhaps you can help us out in our February Sziget run.
And if you have some ideas how to improve the run itself or volunteering, share it with us. As I see on a Facebook page, because I'm added to the editors or
yeah, you're like an administrator.
Exactly. So I always see all the notifications coming from the page, and that's why I mentioned earlier that. Throughout December, I've just seen like notification from Sziget Run, and more people are just clicking on. They like the videos, actually really good videos with the drone footages and everything. So quality content is the deal. I think it can attract more people, it can reach more people. So feel free to comment, share your ideas in a comment section that help other people to discover the videos and the events, so more people can come down and run and get fit.
Yeah, I think pretty much the biggest thing is like our stuff, especially share our event, and I think that's the best way to say thank you to us if you like what we do. So please share, and for February we hope to see as many people as possible, and perhaps we could even start breaking our own personal best of 150 runners.
Wow, 150?
150 is our best.
Wow. So now it's 170 is the goal.
170, but it's up to you guys. So
See you in February.
see you in February.
Bye.
See ya. Hopefully still recording.